Hello again. This lecture is on the tips plus chart. I also call these tip sheets. So I'm sorry for the confusion. I will try my best to just call them tips charts. Okay, so what is a tips chart? You will be very familiar because you have to write 29 of them. Okay, so this is what it is. And if you go to Files in Canvas, you can download it to your computer. You write your name, you write the class, English 122 A.L., you write the title of the assignment. So for example, if we were going to write a tip sheet, let's see, what is your first tip sheet? This one. What we really miss about the 1950s is your first tip sheet. What you need to do is first read it, okay? Read the article or listen to the article, that's fine. Number one, with a very good understanding of the article, okay? So you read the article either online or with your book, and then you fill this out. So it stands for TIPS, stands for T, topic. What is this story about? Just a topic. It doesn't have to be a sentence. What is the topic? Idea. If you had to say in your own words what the author's main idea is in this essay or story, what would you say? Okay. So it just should be a sentence. Now these points are actually quotes from the text that show the idea above, okay? And then you can explain how they show the idea, okay? You can explain how in the critical thinking section, that's fine. Then you give a very then you give a very succinct summary. It should just be one paragraph, okay? And the most important part of the tip sheet is this plus, because this is where you are practicing your critical reading skills and you delve into analysis. It's not just, I like the story, I didn't like the story. No, 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 no. And some students said, well, I don't know how to do critical reading. Well, I have a little, I have something for you that you can use to help you. Let me bring it up. This is the critical reading checklist. You can access this in Canvas on your files. These are questions that you can use for basically any academic text that helps you. If you answer these questions, it helps you to critically think about the text. So I'm not going to read each of these, but I'll just give you some examples of them. And you don't have to answer every one of these questions when you do a tip sheet, but it does help you to start critically thinking about it. So of course, what is the author's approach or perspective? Okay. Is there any other approach, like theoretical or philosophical, that might have been taken? So you could say, well, the author didn't take this way. I wonder why. And you maybe think about why and express it. What is left out of the text? Sometimes this is a really interesting question because I think students tend to feel like, oh, this is a professional writer, they know more than me, but they may actually purposely leave something out or not address something where it may be dated and the technology has moved on from what, try to keep everything updated, but things move so fast, right? If something was written in 2007 or 2006 before smartphones, the world has changed before smartphones, right? So that might be historical context, right? Okay, does the author write from an insider or outsider's perspective, and then et cetera? Do you agree with the point the author's making? This is really important because it's just showing critical thinking. And you can say, like, when you explain if you agree, these are the questions you explain why you agree. You say, well, the evidence, the author supported his point by evidence, but you could also say his evidence is weak, his evidence is opinion. He or she is not using valid reasoning, or the opposite. They are using valid reasoning when they say blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is really nice because it gives you a lot of questions so you can start doing your critical thinking. And it's really interesting because students have said in the past that they were afraid of the critical thinking or they didn't know what to do with the critical thinking. So using this checklist to start helped them. And by the end, they knew how to read college level text and analyze it, because first they used these questions and at the end they didn't need the questions because they knew what to do. The first page is really the best, and then because we don't do too much research, but actually this one question on the second page is really a good one. Does the text challenge your own values, beliefs, and assumptions? Because that's what writing should do, is influence people. So that's a really great question, which is on the second page. But this one is research articles, and you know, we don't need to really use those, but right at first. But when we are doing the research later, that might be helpful. Okay, so right now you really don't have to worry about this for the tip sheets, but later these questions can help you when we go to the research component of the class. Okay, so that is the most important part of the tip sheets, your critical reading, okay, analysis. And people do write up to 1 page typed. At least half a page I would recommend. And if you can't think of anything else to write, go through those questions and just answer them, okay? That will help you. Okay, so that's what a tip sheet is. You do have 2 this week to write, okay? Remember, you can submit them through Canvas. You just go to the assignments and submit them, okay? Thank you.